So today is September 9th, 2021. It is a Thursday approaching a Friday. And we encountered, or nature stumbled upon, a massive thunder lightning storm. Very cool. I haven't experienced one in a very long time, and this one was one of the biggest outside of Zion. So I thought this might be maybe a little bit of a sign of foreboding on the external plane of what is to come on the internal, or perhaps what's happening on the internal, a manifestation of it. Okay, give me 1 second. How awesome the reverberations of thunder meet with my ears. It's lovely. It's almost like a festival where you feel it as well. And that's why I have candles lit. So we're going to go ahead and do a reading. Yes, we're going to go with the Omega Land Tarot. Okay, I hope you are well. It happened just as soon as I got out of the shower. It was massive, massive, massive. I wish I could go out for a walk. It probably isn't the best thing to do right now, so I'm going to stay indoors, obviously. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Oh gosh, I have to do a rereading. Does that make sense? Maybe I'll reroute to the Deviant Moon Tarot. We're allowed to do that. Okay. Well, what's going on in life right now for me? Since obviously I can't hear you on the other end, let me just tell you about my day. Because it might just mean pretty much what's happening on yours. I can't say that I hit a roadblock, but this one's more of, oh shoot, it's a tower. See that? It's a tower moment where lightning strikes. Oh, I've got even keeled chills on my arms just now. But for this one, it's not lightning that strikes it. How peculiar is that? Do you see that? It's a beam of light. Almost like cosmic. This is... I'm hearing the word cosmically inclined. Yes, angels, spirit, ancestors, cosmic family, higher selves, and our children. I invite all of you today. Oh, and spirit totems, yes. Elementals, yes. Elementals especially. Invite you in to guide, protect, and mentor us today. Now, since you brought the tarot card out, and this is the only tarot card that I have experienced on my journey so far that did not have a breaking point caused by lightning striking. That's super interesting to me. Yes, this beam of light. It's almost like the North Star, the guiding light. And when we talk about being cosmically inclined, I feel like this is the universe really motioning this to happen. So this is destined, and whether it comes on your front door or knocks you off your pedestal, or if you approach it with a surrender, confronting it with surrender, knowing that there's a 5 of Swords energy apparent, 4:44 on the clock, it's inevitable. Yes. So I guess I'm feeling this weightlessness, this free fall, and this sense of helplessness. Yeah, I think that's a lesson here. So far, so good. 5:17 on the clock. What is the message today for us? This is a timeless reading, so whenever you stumble across this, whenever you are drawn to it, is precisely when you're meant to hear it. Now, if you jump out of the reading for any reason, you are meant to capture whatever it is that you captured for that allotted time. It's meant for your soul's growth. Yes, completely. Whatever stage you're at right now, this is meant for your soul's growth. All right. What is it you would like to convey? What is it that we need to see, Spirit? What is it that we need to see right now? Okay, I'm getting totally logistically tangled up right now. So, thanks for bearing with me. Trust me, it takes a lot of work and patience. Just everything that's put together, especially now, now that I'm recording with technical issues. So, let's move forward with this. Okay, Spirit. Oh, that's a lot. I think I'm just going to take that top card. What is it? It is the Three of Wands in reverse. Oh, is this a continuation of the previous one that we just laid out? It featured the Three of Wands. It was the primary card, the first card. In fact, whoa, this totally is. Okay, 103 was on the clock. So this flew out of my hand towards the camera and bumped into it, into upright, and then closed its door again. So there's a lot to be said about perspective here. And for this one, it's determining what to invest in, what will fuel you, not just ignites you, but also what nourishes you. Oh gosh, yeah, because you see some kind of gestation here with Three of Wands that are budding at the top. She is depicted as the Empress, hidden in disguise, cloaked in warrior gear. She's battled some demons, as you can see. So now, showing her success, she dons that cape or robe. So she's a hero to herself. Now, if you're a male, this also applies to you within your intuitive feminine aspect, your receptive side. This is what your takeaway was from the world. So it's your feminine aspect, but almost masculinized in that aspect. So this is depicting us as a warrior and the hard parts of war and understanding, like digesting that expected Five of Swords aspect. It's a given. This is looking at what stands before her. Laying stakes in the ground. So this is almost like the picture ends here, but there could be so much more in the field. And the way this is shown, it looks like the part of the picture of the Nine of Wands, which is about boundaries and not just knowing your limitations and others, but just the environment that you're in, what cards you're dealt, and I mean, look at that. Just the division, just the partial picture, the portion of the Three of Wands, we're going to start laying our stakes in the ground. And so far we've got 3 in, and that is more than enough to start on. So what do we want to say about the Spirit? This is a third of the way through, like locked in. And then what you have remaining there, it's almost like you're halfway there to victory because you have the remaining Six of Wands in the next picture. So this here, whatever we're doing here is oh gosh, I got the chills. Okay, is given to our advantage. You see how the moon glowing some kind of like illumination aspect. It's a mystery of, just trying to figure things out. And that's what we all really need to do. The moon is also synonymous with her, like as above, so below. So whatever she's creating, whatever's in form here is a mystery within its own cycles. And it's also feeding back whatever these stakes are. They're fortifying each other from both sides. It's an exchange, an energetic exchange. Wow, this is ancestral knowledge. This is tribal knowledge. This is learned over a great deal of time. Because for me, I haven't seen this in the modern world. It's become very, is it convoluted? Is that the word? 6:04 was on the clock. Anyway, we have 3 rosebuds on the top. Now, from what I understand, roses have the flower essence, the highest energetic quality of all flowers. You see roses symbolizing celebration or closure, many different things. But when they're in the state of budding, that's the anticipation, isn't it? So I think Spirit really wants, I think the divine wants us to see that, really contemplate not just on the concept of what we're doing and the exchange and all of that, but also the beauty that lies within this whole picture. Alongside this, we see the illumination here onto the tower. It's the same kind of illumination that the moon provides for us. So our tower moment is partially picking up the pieces and rectifying whatever we can foundation-wise with the essentials. Very interesting. And she stands taller than, this. So ultimately, we cannot forget about ourselves in this process of delivery. So when we do that, we're enabling and facilitating the universe with our action plan, is it? With our approach, yes, to our due date. And we're not looking at it like it's a deadline. In modern terms, this is more like, what can I make out of this? This is definitely spotlighted. The 3 stakes in the ground, they're all connected to her. She's standing firm. She's holding her ground. She has her feet apart. She's not stiff. She's relaxed. She's really thinking about things. Yeah, so she's standing tall, almost as tall as the moon. When we're looking at this, the 3 above her crown is definitely a signifier of the Empress. Now, given that it was in reverse, and it's not quite, but it was moving around, right? So it's all about perspective and gaining it. It's a process of gaining it. Initially, it started in reversal, but then it kind of flew out of my hand. It slipped out of my hand, but slipped in a way that it was like no contact. So it was almost like it floated off, like floated, flew out of my hand, turned upright, and then closed door. So it's like a chapter in our lives that we're actively writing. Oh gosh, I got chills again. Interesting. Now both of these, their faces mimic a crescent moon, and it's not within the deviant side. So this is our illumination period. Very interesting. The moon, the lightning and thunder are so massive, it's groundbreaking. It's part of the message. Okay, one other came onto me that it fell upside down, but kind of like sideways to the right. And we have the Queen of Cups over the moon. They're opposing sides. Oh, wow. Okay. The Queen of Cups came in reverse with kind of the moon and upright. The last time I saw the Queen of Cups, it was a warning. And it had something to do with working with the moon. Yeah, both of these came out in that reading. And it's being aware of what strings are tied to us, what strings we let remain attached to us, how we let other figures almost mock us and create this kind of puppetry dynamic within our lives. So I get this outsider is someone that wishes ill intent on you. And our intention is not to magnify this, but to be aware. You don't need to know all of the details of their motives, the causation, etc., because you have your own journey to focus on. So to elaborate and give that much more energy out of your cup to give to this one with that only, it's the only one that has a deviant face, is it doesn't make sense. So there's some spell work, some bad intentions driven your way, our way. And it's just something to be aware of, because when you're angered or things easily get out of control, it's easy to forget about what the possible causations are. Now, when you take leadership with compassion, that's binding your spiritual capabilities within your highest standing. So this is like your higher self within the seat of royalty. And in that, compassion plays a huge role in expanding our patience and able to figuring things out so that there's not a reactive state. Strings aren't pulled, cords aren't, tangled up. Yeah, this is entanglement. Yeah. So we see here the male figure as well as the feminine here. You might be in a relationship right now or some kind of partnership or like at a breaking point, because we see a masculine here also depicted with a feminine. So there's tampering in our situation. And the most important thing for us to do is to simply acknowledge it, maybe identify with it on an internal plane as far as the internal struggle, because this figure is a catalyst, right? Karmic catalyst in order to project our growth and really understand what binds us, what we're handcuffed to, what strings are attached, what kind of stipulations we place on things that end up creating limitations for our growth. How do you say it? Prohibit our movement is limited to the strings that are attached. Yes, that's what that is. Okay, Spirit, is there anything else? The divine that which we called upon. Is there anything else you would like to convey? Again, these messages are delivered with the intention of love and light, our expansion. Okay, we have the Four of Wands, Judgment, and the Five of Pentacles. Wow, in that order. Okay, so in this scene, oh my gosh, I got the chills too. We see again the full moon for the third time, again with the couples featuring the feminine side. Oh, yeah, no, for the fourth time. The initial cards present individual journeys, like the backstories to each person within this partnership. Partnership could also mean friendship. So I really feel like this applies to more than just myself. So anyway, we're looking at this, the Four of Wands, which is like the highlighted card. We see victory on this home front. Once the strings are removed, there is a cosmic bond, a soul bond, it's like a higher self bond, a connection that they're able to maintain, that they're bound to. So regardless of whether or not you are maintaining traditional commitments within the 3D realm, the earthly realm, on a higher plane, the bond that you created is developed and you are connected and you honor that relationship. You're able to do that once you're able to stabilize the bigger picture, which is home and hearth. Yeah, the moon looks almost like a sun with how illuminated that is. Okay, so that was the first card there. Then there's Judgment. So Spirit and angels have our back, because what will be will be. Those that have presented themselves in the Five of Pentacles lacking is hidden. They're even hiding, trying to creep out of this judgment phase, and they cannot escape. That's 100% true. They cannot escape. But that's their journey of learning. But, that's their lesson. You can only bring a horse to, water, but you can't make them drink it. Spirit, the angels, are sounding their trumpets because they have the perspective of the deviant side as well as the light side. Nothing passes them without view, without review. So they are watching over us constantly. And when the time comes, judgment will be given. So to have true faith in that, to focus on your goals, what will stabilize you, what is substantial. It's this card following the tower moment. Now, when you look at that, it's almost like stakes laid in the ground, with the first one being the tower as well. This is conceptually speaking, like in the ground. They're just as erect, if not, it's 2/3 of the size of the tower moment. And both are illuminated here, yeah? So it's almost like the top broke off, and this is like your founding point. You are the founder. You are the CEO. You are the owner of your life. So how are you going to, this is your business continuity program. This is in action, okay? This is the formulating of it. So we have cosmic support. So the Four of Wands goes back to this in the end, that we are bound for victory. Because when we succeed in this and we put the effort into this, other people are watching too, not just the angels, The divine, you are an example. Oh gosh. Okay. We are examples to each other. So it's like, okay, so what's Tina's business plan to get back on her feet, And so people are learning as we go. I think I'm supposed to take this top card. What is it? Yeah, Two of Pentacles. It's weighing things out. It's like a dance. What song is that? I just heard a song, a dance off by Macklemore. That's funny. So it's, balancing things and taking ownership in each hand, intuitive and action side. On her left side, it's a little bit lowered, being humble, having gratitude for what she is able to receive. And then the high hand is our right hand, what we're going to move forward with. Very cool. And the back is towards us, and this is like in progress. So this is almost like similar to the waning crescent moon. Anyway, so this is in process, whatever is happening here. And it's almost like a mystery. Like, not everything is shown to us when we are examples to others. Not everything is shown to others because it's not meant to be like that. Like, they have their own journey. They need to figure it out themselves too. I've noticed that in experience when I've really, really tried in relationships to help someone, like give them the answers. The journey isn't quite the same because that person needs to figure it out, like go through the trial and error to really appreciate the journey and the findings, because your words fall flat, almost like you're a know-it-all, almost like it's condescending to them, because frustration comes from angered ego, right? Yeah, your words fall flat, which just causes more frustration. So you do what you can, but you can't do it all. Yeah? Yeah, that's what Spirit wants to show us. Oh, and there's bountiful hips here. So there's a lot of fertility here, as well as a lot of like action. It's like meatiness. It's a lot of movement, like dance. Yeah. So it's making an effort to be in rhythm and in sync with the balancing act. It almost looked like the hemline of her skirt was the hilt of a sword. So I'm getting that too. is being able to cut across the terrain in that balancing act as you step forward. Yeah. Okay, so that was the top card to that. 2652 on the clock. I feel like there might be one more card. It's quieted down. That's very interesting how that all played out. Okay, so that's a really big tower moment if that's what's to come. That's it. That's like the mother of tower moments. You know, in the 20 years that I've lived here, is it 20 years? Let me see here. Over 15 years. This is the first time that rain like poured in, like massively indoors, like without warning. It's almost like we're on a ship. Okay, so what came here? Devil in reversed and the magician right behind it, upright. So this is awesome. This is freaking massive. This is the first time I have ever received the magician from this deck. And so I'm seeing here that this magician has two sets of arms, each one holding the suit. It doesn't even really have a table. Everything is within and within your own grasp. That's what Spirit is telling us. Because the devil came in as a cover card in reversal. We're defeating our demons with everything that we've got, with the essentials. 29 on the clock. And this is all in process because we see another crescent moon at the top. It is leaning on the waning instead of the waxing. And the sword is put down. So like the other reading that we just did, it's only pulling the sword out as needed, but taking temperature in the cup, like with your humble, intuitive side. Yeah. So there's a sense of compassion here in dealing with your demons as well as others. Oh yeah, definite. Whoa. Because others are watching in shadows in the background. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 shadows in the background. They're silhouettes. So this is all done on an astral plane. This is all done, if you have a platform too, and you're sharing, there are hidden figures in the background. So this doesn't have to be just on an astral plane. There could be more. But from what's pictured, the primary ones are a total of 4. So these identities are not known just yet. And they're looking at this. Either they're, the way they're positioned is that they're intrigued. They're catalysts, they're passive catalysts. They are facilitators whether they realize it or not, just as you are in bulk to them. Another reiteration that with every step that you make, every gesture or lack thereof, to be very mindful, cognizant, of what you put out into this world. How you deal with yourself primarily. Oh yeah, that's definite. Definite. So it's using your creative, magical abilities, your solar plexus driven here, 3126 on the clock, and seeing the investments that you make. Those are the top hands that are risen. So the magician, it looks like I'm in the dark kind of, so I can't really see all the fine details here, but it looks like the magician is dressed partially like a knight and partially like a consultant. So just kind of keep that in mind. Just very driven, but with some sort of a Hierophant energy. Is it Hierophant or High Priestess? Either way, it's not like the full charge of a knight. This is like being able to decipher and discern. Yeah, on a higher plane. Not just transactional. This is qualitative, and there's another word for it too. Okay, it'll come to me when it comes. So this is our spotlighting moment. We defeat our demons, and that is awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing like Ghostbusters here, okay? Because, can you see it? there's a box in which the cup stands upon, which we're testing, right? That box is filled with stars, right? So we have cosmic support and closure. Oh gosh, that's what it is. Okay. And the box is red. The demon is red. Yeah. So it's like it gets sucked into that box with our cup on top of it. We have sought solid closure. Oh my gosh. This is a foreboding. With support, cosmic support. It's so solid and stable, or closure, that a cup can sit on it unbothered. Our only cup. Yeah, that's cool. That's so cool. Okay. Let's look at the bottom of the deck now. 34:25 on the clock. It is the Queen of Swords in reverse. Why is the Queen of Swords in reverse, though? You know, I feel like you might be empaths and you're just like highly intuitive, right? So your ability to discern is sharp, okay? Our ability is sharpened. However, the pain that has been caused by us, the pain inflicted, can have us like not in our best standing. So it's just to kind of like be aware of that. Instead of beware of it, in fear of it, just be aware of it. Identify with it. Identify with that part of you that has been inflicted, that has been kind of cosmically tainted in a way, like reputation wise. Is that right? I don't know if reputation is the right word for it, but this is not you in a sense of permanence. This is a phase or phases that you've dealt with in your history that have impacted and compounded itself onto you, onto us, that left an impression. Okay, I think that's it, everybody. Thank you, Divine, from which we have called upon. Really appreciate it. It's to give us a sense of hope, a driving force, to have faith in it, that it can be done. And at the same time, it's written in your destiny already, but you have to put the effort too, right? Like, so Spirit buys you a car, right? But you need to be a good driver in order to make the most out of the resource that's given to you for its lifespan. Maybe that's not the best way to describe it, but you know, you still got to meet halfway. You know, just like leading the horse to the water. Like, you need to be able to drink it. Yeah, there's something else. I'm getting like the Holy Grail, like the cup. Yeah, it's life. It's sustainability. I think that's it. Okay, well, thanks very much. Thanks for joining. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. You're encouraged to do all of the above, as well as, if you're feeling up to it, donate to my channel. Either way, if you want to send a note of gratitude personally to the Divine on your own accord, that is certainly encouraged outside of what we just did here. And the greatest appreciation that you can show, that we can show to the Divine, is living by that example and really acting upon the intended, the cosmically intended for our highest good. Okay, so I will catch you later. And again, thank you very much. And wishing you well. Yes. Blessings.